Welcome back to WD Magicast for the week of September 3rd, 2023. This is episode 235. WD Magicast, the show about the mouse, the marvels, the galaxy, and beyond. I'm your host, Matthew Gracon. In this week's show, Dave Gallman and I sit down and talk about our recent trips to Walt Disney World, his trip to Walt Disney World, and upon the wonder of the seas. Not a Disney ship, but we do make some comparisons. I make some comparisons about Disney to Royal Caribbean. Kind of a vacation sum up. It wasn't completely about Disney, but you'll get some information, some good information out of there as well. This is part 1, and make sure to stay tuned for part 2 as we wrap it up next week. While you're at it, though, let me know what you think of cruising in general and Port Canaveral and Disney and the whole connection and making a multi-stop vacation like we both did. Let us know on the social networks. We can be found at WD Magicast just about everywhere. TikTok, Threads, Twitter, X, whatever it's called now, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Find us, join in the conversation, follow along on there. And don't forget, also check out our TeePublic store where some great sales are going on. And get yourself some cool merchandise while helping the show out there. We'll be back after these words from our friends.
Well, hello there. I hope you're enjoying this week's episode of the Disney Marvels podcast. If you have a little bit of free time and you'd like to check out something a little bit different, I encourage you to listen to the Chat Disney podcast. My name is Mercedes and I am one half of the Chat Disney podcast. Myself and my friend Tash are both based in the UK and we give a female British view on all things Disney, from parks, movies and even more. Check out the Chat Disney podcast at chatdisney.co.uk.
Florida's got so many things to offer. I mean, you got the Disney parks, you got that other park, you got that other park, and then you got some other things going on. You got the Everglades. One of the great things out of Florida as well is cruise ships. And there's ways to do like more than one thing in a single trip. If you're going down there or you live down there, you can hit multiple things and do many things. And besides myself, someone else who has recently done such a venture like that is someone you may recognize. There's voice from episode 233, Disney's Pop Century Resort, walk-in review. Dave Gallman is back to grace us with his knowledge, his presence, and his expertise and experiences of his latest outings. Dave, welcome back to New Jersey.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew. I hope I live up to the high expectations of that intro, but, let's see.
Hey, I always feel we should always own up to our misgivings. I do have to point out one thing about the Pop Century. Well, actually, Pop Century, you nailed that pretty good.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Art of Animation, you forgot that you got the Little Mermaid room, which is exactly like Pop Century's because that was what was already built, because they were originally supposed to be one resort.
Uh-huh.
The Lion King, Nemo, and Cars rooms are the family suites.
Okay. All right. Well, that's when I was there, like I kind of remembered what you were saying. Like there was bigger rooms, but I couldn't remember 100% what, I can only go by if you have like a family of 3 or 4, Pop Century's kind of good. 4 might be a little tight because you're in that room, right. But 3 is like your comfort zone. So
yeah, because
if you had a family of like 5 or more, you probably couldn't fit in ARC, right?
Yeah, it's a they're full size beds, so you can cozily have 2 people in a bed.
Right.
But they don't have a 5th person option in Pop. You'd have to go to the moderates for that.
Right.
Most of the values don't have it. Though technically Art of Animation is considered in the value range of things. So the Little Mermaid room is exactly like the rooms at Pop because they already built that.
Mm-hmm.
And the other wings weren't built out yet. They just had the superstructure with the concrete laid. They didn't have the rooms in yet. So they were able to design that differently and again, reversed it, put the entrance on the inside versus the outside, and made them the family suites that are, they're pretty nice. We stayed in them once. And you have 2 bedrooms. You have a living room area with a couch that pulls out. There's a little kitchenette area there. Those are 2 bedrooms? No, strike that. You have the 1 bedroom with the shower in it, full bathroom with the shower. You have your dining table, which pulls down and has I guess it's a full-size bed on there that 2 could sleep in there. And then you have the couch that pulls out. Again, I believe 2 could sleep on that. So you have 2, 4, 6 that could fit in there. And with, like I said, the little kitchenette. They're nice rooms. My one downside to that, it wasn't that soundproofed. So if someone's running down the hallway or running in the room above you, you do hear that.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's a good size room to fit multiple people, and you don't feel like you're right on top of everybody at all times.
Right. Well, hey, for my first time doing something like that,
you did great.
I tried my best, and
you did great.
I could only go by, like, my family's only a size of 3, so, like, that's my knowledge of what I know from just experience in traveling with us 3.
No, you did fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to, next time you go down, we'll have to do it again.
Yeah. Hey, it was a little nerve-wracking in the beginning there, trying to, because like I told you, it's like trying to find time to get the intro going with nobody around you. And in Disney, that's almost impossible.
Yeah, you gotta sneak behind some shrubbery somewhere.
Right. Pop out.
When I did the All-Star Sports Racing, that's what I did. I walked out the lobby entrance. You have the Giants. You have the drive-through area, and then the star on the other side underneath to hold up the other side of the campy. Walked past that into the parking lot. That's where I started recording, and then headed into walked into the lobby. So kind of the same thing, kind of find a quieter area and then introduce the background noise. But no, again, fantastic job. Thank you for doing that for us.
Yep, no problem. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so obviously we were down at Disney. You stayed at Pop Century Resort. You did some Disney stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did something else which is kind of opposite to my trip. I did the something else first, and then did a quick stopover at Disney where we did the Bomo's Flavors of Africa buffet breakfast, which fantastic. Again, that's I think the episode before that, right? No, 2 episodes before that, 231, the live Boma breakfast review, which I somehow got my whole family on board for.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because food was involved, maybe because we're at Disney, maybe because everyone was such in a good mood from our previous outing.
Yes.
Almost everyone. So yeah. We did. You went to Disney. Obviously, like I said, we know you stayed at Pop Century Resort. What else did you do while you were there?
We were. There was a lot of moving parts in this trip. I mean, you know that. I know. So I was just worried about everything coming together, and thankfully everything did. We landed okay. We got the Mir shuttle to Pop. We stayed, I think, 4 nights, 3 days, whatever it was there. We did Magic Kingdom and Epcot for the 2 days. I was actually able to get on the 2 rides that I was highly anticipating, which was the Guardians of the Galaxy and Tron. I was able to get on the queue. And thankfully, because it was real field temperature of like 112, 114, luckily we were able to get on those rides like earlier in the day. So it wasn't like we had to stay in the parks until 8 o'clock at night and just bear that heat the whole time.
Right.
You understand? So, like, because my wife me just doing what I do, I'm kind of conditioned for that stuff, so I was okay with it because I'm just used to it. But my wife and my daughter are not, so they were ready to tap out at like 4 or 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon just to go back. Which, since I've been to Disney a bunch of times in the last few years, I was okay with that as well, because like the main part of this trip was the second part of the trip.
Yeah.
So as long as I got on Guardians and Tron, I was okay with it. I could go back to the Pop Century, hit the pool, relax with Kay, my daughter, and just chill there. So it was nice, relaxing first part of the adventure that we had. So.
I mean, you could always said, okay, you guys head back, and I'll meet you up at some point.
Well, what ended up happening was my wife left when we were in Epcot, and she didn't want to ruin the fun for that me and my daughter were having. So she's like, I'm going to go back to the room. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, just text me when you go. Be careful, blah, blah, blah. And she left, texted me. So the Skyliner, she did everything on her own, which give her credit.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have done that by myself, but me and my daughter were able to stay at Epcot and continue on, because they had the Food and Wine Festival at that time. So we were able to continue going around, looking at the food, tasting stuff, and it was good. I like I said, I think in the past episodes, Epcot has grown on me where when I was a kid, I don't know, I was like, yeah, it's Epcot. Now I love Epcot. I can go there all the time.
Same. When I was younger, I didn't appreciate it as much, but as I got older, the more and more I was able to connect with Epcot. Then anyone changed everything, a whole bunch of the attractions, but I still like it. I still really enjoy the variety of things that you can get from Epcot. Adding in the festivals obviously was a game changer. Some of the new attractions just the culture of everything. Now, as a slightly older person, I could appreciate going to the countries and experiencing or just looking at the architecture and getting in like little pieces of the culture and whatnot. So it's a different perspective for me for Epcot now. And they still have Figment, so that's always a huge plus. But leave it up to you. This is your part of the vacation. Which one do you want to talk about first? Food and Wine or Guardians?
Let's do the Food and Wine. We'll start there.
Okay. How was Food and Wine this year, and did you get the pickled milkshake?
I did not get the pickled milkshake. I stayed away from that. I didn't see. I think wasn't Beaker and them was supposed to be there. I didn't see anything on that. Maybe I didn't look for it right, or we just didn't see it.
Did you go to Brew Wings in the Odyssey?
No.
That's where they were. That's where. Okay. Well, they aren't physically there. There is monitors with the screen of them going on. And you just order the stuff from Brew Wings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we did do. I think we mentioned about this. We had like a Disney gift card. So instead of using your Magic Band or your credit card to like charge at every station you go, we did have that gift card with whatever amount of money you want to put on it, because that makes it easier. And you just use that card around at each station to pay for all the foods. And again, they were cheap. They weren't. I mean, you're getting like a small little portion, So like, if there was 3 of us, we'd probably each get like a bite and a half of food. But it wasn't like you were spending $20 on that. You were spending like anywhere between, I think, $7 to $10 or something like that on each item that you purchase. So, and it's different. I mean, when you go to each one, you can tell like they nailed. You could like the India style food. Like you could tell it was from India. Like it was cool just experiencing all the flavors and stuff of each different food you experience. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to miss out on Hawaii. Hawaii was open just a couple of days later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that's what it's kind of the purpose of it, and it's nice that they've stayed true to it for all these years. Is that you really get they allowed. It's not just like, okay, we're naming this booth, Ireland, and we're just going to serve you a American style steak or hot dog or something there. they try to authenticate the food to that region that booth is supposed to represent.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm sure you didn't get to all the booths.
No.
About how many do you think you were able to hit up?
If we roughly maybe 10 or 12, because we did have a reservation at one of the restaurants there too, which I don't know if that was the way to go. We could have canceled it, but by the time we realized that we probably should have canceled it, we would have had to pay the money. So we're like, all right, guess we're going to eat there, because I'm not spending, because it was $10 a person for the cancellation fee. I'm like, nope, we're going to eat. So I would say approximately probably about 10, in the whole circle. Which ones I really I can't recall like the exact ones we did, but we did enough. Right. It was good.
Yeah. What stood out to you of what you were able to eat?
Now you got me thinking. Because I ate so much on that 12-day adventure that.
To think back to that.
I'm trying to think back to that because that was like, day 2 of our trip. We had a filet mignon slider. I forgot where that was at. I forgot which country had that one, but that was pretty good. Go back
in my text here.
Whoever had the filet mignon slider, that was phenomenal. Because the meat was just like so tender and it was like melt in the mouth.
Let's see here. It was this one, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep.
Because you sent me that with the picture of the poutine. So was that Canada?
It might have been Canada. And the poutine, my wife and my daughter loved the poutine. They're like, that was their bucket list. They had to get that.
And then you also had
the fisherman's seafood. Yes, I did try that too, and that was pretty good.
Where is it? Was that England? I'm trying to think. Who would have fisherman's seafood pie?
That might have been Ireland.
Could have been Ireland.
Because we had that one. That was early, and we came in where Ireland was, so that might have been around over there.
That generation, sure. So, but all in all, Food and Wine still holds up, still delicious.
Oh yeah. Definitely would go back, and you can tell it's funny. It's like the later in the day you can see, because Ratatouille's in that section. So when we got there early, you didn't see that much action going around that circle, that part of the world until like 6 o'clock ish. When me and my daughter were just doing solo, that's when it just got jammed up. Because everybody I guess is looking for their dinner, so they're going around there.
Eat around the world. I have no problems with that. I encourage it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What restaurant did you go to?
It was the Nine Dragons. It's a Chinese restaurant. So we went there. Last time we were there, we ate there. The food was great. So, we were like, did we just want to go back there? She's like, I made sure everybody was fine with it. They're like, yeah, let's go back there. Still didn't disappoint. Still good. It's Chinese food,
Yeah. All right. I guess now the big one for Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
You finally got to experience
on Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Yep, Cosmic Rewind. So we walked over there. You can still see the Moana walkthrough thing is still boarded up. They still have all the but you can see you can kind of peek around and try to see stuff. Yeah,
well, now they're getting the guest, not the guest previews, but some press preview, cast member previews are starting up momentarily.
Yeah,
so this episode comes out.
Right. So, but you can see that it's almost done or it is done. They just don't want anybody in there, so it's all still boarded up. But they got the signs. They got the signs there still, directing to where you got to go because we haven't been to Guardians, so we weren't 100% sure where it was. But we found it. You walk up, you see the spaceship. And then that's when you start getting the chills. You're like, all right, here we go. And then the queue is that walk through there, just the model ships and stuff. Everything in there was cool. Seeing Terry Crews talking on the screen was awesome, And then
it's a long queue line, but it doesn't feel like a long queue line.
Right. Well, I think if you had to wait 3 hours for that ride, it would feel like a long one. You know what I mean? But with the being in the queues and stuff like that, that helps alleviate all of that. So, but you get in there, they do the whole act to put you in the scenario of what's going on.
The pre-show, yeah.
The pre-show, right?
And it's cool. Like you said, with Terry Crews and Glenn Close.
Yeah, yep. So they do that. You get in your vehicle or whatever, your coaster, and then the thing shoots into this dark room. And I thought the ride broke down because it just got real quiet and silent, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're off. And it's like you wanna look around and like soak it all in because it's all happening real fast. But there's just so much stuff going on, and you're just being swayed around. You can't help but continue to go, wee. You're like, yeah. All right, this is cool. You got music blasting in your ear, and you're trying to see where you're going. It was a phenomenal ride. I do like the whole, because it's not like you said, I think it's not your traditional roller coaster. It's a coaster, but you shift.
It's the Omni coaster.
Right, there you go. And it's awesome. It was so smooth, so fast. And it was before you knew it wasn't a short ride. It wasn't really long, but it was enough to make you satisfied that you were on it. You know what I mean? It wasn't over in a blink of an eye.
No, it's like it's just the right amount of time on the ride that it's not. You don't lose interest, but you don't feel like it ended too soon.
Right. Exactly.
And as you're saying, for the smoothness, you don't realize that your car is rotating.
Mm-hmm.
You just think it's part of the how the track is set up or whatever. It's so integrated into the whole experience. You don't even notice. Plus, also being in the dark sometimes, and when I think those transitions are happening, makes it even less apparent.
Yeah. But no, it was awesome. We got off of there. Me and my daughter were like high-fiving, clapping and stuff. My wife, because she used to do roller coasters and stuff like that. Not so much anymore. She got off and she's like...
So she told me everyone hated that ride.
No. Maybe she did, but we loved it. She goes, I am not going on Tron. I'm like, all right, you don't have to. That was like her first stuff right off of that ride, man. But no, man, it was cool. Like I would have loved to gone back on there and do it again, but we didn't have that opportunity to get back on it. But I highly suggest if you go to Epcot, that has to be on the list to get on there. Has to.
Where would you rank it overall in your Disney rides?
The whole all of them in
all yep.
I would put it probably 2. I would put it 2. Rise is 1. Rise of Resistance is 1. You can't top that one.
I agree with that.
Because where I was struggling was Smuggler's Run and Guardians, because they're different things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But because Smuggler's Run is awesome. So I'm like, those are the 2. Those are like 2 and 2A, 2A, 2B.
I mean, I enjoy Smuggler's Run, but it's... No, I definitely would put Guardians above Smuggler's Run, and Rise is, the pinnacle.
Yeah.
When it works.
Right. Exactly. So, but no. Yeah, Epcot was a success. We left. Skyliner worked perfectly. We had no issues, no congestion, no nothing. Lines were pretty good. For all the other rides there, like Ratatouille, I think we waited 30 minutes.
That's not bad.
Soarin' was probably 10, 15 minutes. So we were able to get on even the Imagination Land or whatever with Figment. That was like 5 minutes. So a lot of the rides were, manageable. It wasn't like you were sitting out there baking in the sun and stuff. So it was good. It was good. I think that's what helped too, because we left the parks, around 6-ish both days. But we were able to get enough rides in to make us feel like, okay, we did enough.
Yeah. Good. So you got your worth out of it. Next day, obviously, I think you said Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom. Yeah, this one, if I would have done the scheduling or looked, this was on me. I wish I would have looked into the scheduling a little bit more, because they had the Halloween event, so they closed the park at 6:00 so that they can come in. But again, we got enough done in Magic Kingdom and we were like, okay, let's just go. Because we were going to have a long Saturday, so we're like, we missed the fireworks, whatever, that's fine. But Magic Kingdom, we got in there. Tron was the thing. Now, Tron, we waited maybe like 20 minutes with the queue, which isn't bad. You know what I mean? No. Once you get in, you see all the, the Tron style stuff and the blues and the colors. You know what I mean? It's really cool. You sit in, you get to the coaster, you're sitting in, I think it's side by side. Me and my daughter, I think we're able to sit next to each other. And then you're just sitting in there like you riding a bike. And, they lock you in, so you're secure. You feel like you're secure. And then it brings you around to the takeoff section of the track. And then, boom, you're off to the races. Now, it shoots you out into the light. So you have you seen the video like where you're out, or have you walked by it where you can see the track is outside?
Yeah, you're underneath the canopy first.
Right, the canopy, right. So you get shot out around the canopy and then, boom, back into the inside.
Into the grid.
So you get like your sensory overload because your eyes go from the light into the dark. So your eyes have to adjust for a second once you get back in there. But again, smooth, fast, but my one nitpick, it was just short. That was one that I was like, all right, we couldn't we just added a little extra track to this one? Because it's just, you're having so much fun. Like, it's a different style coaster. Because like I said, when you're sitting on that bike and you're spinning and turning and stuff, it was just awesome. You didn't want it to end. That probably is the reason why I felt it was short. But, I've heard from other people that it is a tad short. But,
yeah, it seems like it's almost an exact clone of the one in Shanghai, but you would think they had the opportunity. They could have made this one a little bigger, but I guess that would put in a lot more work to work out the nuances and
right.
Staging and, more planning. So.
And what I give them credit is they put fans, not throughout the whole section, but a good portion of the waiting section, there's like a kind of a canopy above you with like the big ceiling fans kind of deal. So
Smart.
That helped, keep you cool while you're sitting there waiting to get, through into the actual building where it's a little bit more air conditioning. So that I was like, because we got to that part and I looked up and I was like, thank you.
Smart.
We have a
smart
breeze.
Move there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, my daughter loved it. I loved it.
How did the locker situation work?
I want to say you tapped your magic band. Like you went in there, because we bypassed that because we didn't have anything that we had to put. We didn't have anything that we had to put into the locker. We were able to there's a little compartment in front of you that, you can put glasses or loose items and stuff.
Mm.
But the lockers, yes, I think you have to tap your magic band.
Okay.
And then it opens, you put your stuff in there, and then you close it, and then when you come back, you tap it again to get that out. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. Because I was trying to take everything in, but again, we didn't need it, so I didn't use it. But I'm pretty sure that's how it was. But you just got to remember which number you put, your stuff in.
Of course, yeah, of course. Me, I always have a backpack. I obviously can't bring it on the attraction,
right,
so I would have to stick it in there.
Yeah. So, but no, awesome buses. The buses are the buses. We just got to the waiting section as the one pulled away, so we had to wait 20 to 30 minutes for the next one to come through, and then away we went. So
okay. And then I think you did a downtown day.
We went, the next. We ate at the Crystal Palace.
Yes. How was that?
Buffet, good. I enjoyed it. Pricey, but you got to see Eeyore, Tigger, Piglet, and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, there's some great pictures of you with the 100 Acre Woods friends.
Oh yeah. No, it was awesome. They came over, the guests, they had a person with them, and that person was making sure that each character came to your table so that you can get the photo ops with all four of them. So it wasn't that I give them credit for that because you don't know what I didn't know that going in, but they were making sure that all those characters came to you, which I appreciated, But no, the food is buffet style. Food was good. Like I said, pricey, but it was worth that ambiance, that experience with.
Yeah, I always feel Crystal Palace does a nice job with the food presentation and the quality of food. It's it's a nice place. Yes, it's a buffet, pricey for a buffet, but it's a character experience too. So it's going to be pricier because it's the character experience.
Right, exactly. So, and then yes, Saturday we spent, because we didn't want to kill ourselves before we went on to the next part. We just spent the day at Disney Springs. We ate at the Boathouse. Excellent food. Highly recommend that place to dine. We spent some money and just walked around, and then just came back to the hotel because then we had to get our stuff all together, packed, and get ready for the next day's adventure.
And what was the next day's adventure, Dave?
We headed off to the Wonder of the Seas out of Port Canaveral.
Yeah, both of us. We did it 2 weeks before you guys, I think, right?
Yes.
We also did the Wonder of the Seas. Did that before going to Boma's, and it's not a Disney cruise. Okay, why we did Disney and we did something else. So, but I think it just, we want to talk about it because we enjoyed it. I mean, she's big.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way. I say.
No.
As of this recording, she is the largest cruise ship in the world. Soon to be eclipsed in January 2024, when the next ship will come out, the Icon of the Seas, which will be larger. She's a Royal Caribbean ship, Wonder of the Seas. Nerdy facts: she's 235,600 gross tons, 215 feet wide, 1,188 feet long. So approximately 3.5 football fields. She has a cruising speed of 22 knots. She has 16 decks available for guests, but there's 18 decks in total. And then there's 24 elevators, 4 bow thrusters, because this thing can turn on a dime, which produce 7,500 horsepower each. And there is, she will hold 5,734 guests at double occupancy for a total of 7,084 guests, and has 2,204 crew members international from all over the world. Ships broken into neighborhoods. There's lots and lots of dining options, bar options. There is a casino, 2,867 staterooms, and lots of fun things to do.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, what did you think? This is your
third cruise.
Third cruise.
Yes. With this one, I'm glad that we went on the Oasis last year. Because I guess the Wonder is a sister ship or whatever.
Yes. It's
an Oasis style class. So when we got on the Oasis, that was it was just so much to take in. But by the end of with most cruises, once you get familiar with the ship and stuff like that, you start to, you get used to it, your surroundings, everything's fine. So when I got onto the Wonder, it was different but familiar at the same time. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm home, kind of.
Yeah.
Like this. Here we go.
You kept on texting me. He's like, how is it? I'm like, it's different but the same.
Yeah, exactly. And
but extremely different.
And I do, as soon as I got on there, I figured out what you meant by that. You know what I mean? So it's like, I had a great time. The ship we forgot about the miniature golf the last night we're walking around, and I'm like, where was this the whole time? My daughter's like, Daddy. I'm like, sorry.
We did do the miniature golf. It's 9 holes, so it's a smaller course, but unlike the Oasis, there's a lot more theming to the miniature golf. It's open pretty much 24 hours a day. You just grab a putter, you grab a ball, and you just go do your little course. They're not that easy.
No.
But it's fun. It's a fun little family activity to do.
But no, there's everything. I mean, there's ping pong. They have the basketball court there where you can play basketball. I saw them playing
a lot of pickleball going on.
Pickleball, thank you. They were playing pickleball.
Soccer, they'll do on there.
Soccer, yeah, all kinds of stuff there. They got the flow rider, the zip lining, the rock climbing wall, the abyss slide that you can do. So many activities. I know there's sections for like kids that are 13 to 18, I think.
You got the kids in the teen section. You got Adventure Ocean for the kids, which is the younger kids group. There's the nursery section. There is arcades, Social 100, which is a teen zone. Splashaway Bay and the patio, which again are also the patio is a teen area. Splashaway Bay is a little water park for kids. Adults can walk around on it too, but it's mostly for kids. It's got the bucket, slides, splashing areas, things to climb up and run around on. So my boys did that for a little bit. You have 3 water slides. 3 of the big major water slides that most people can go on.
Right. There's like two regular slides, and then the other slide's like almost like a toilet bowl kind of deal.
Yes.
You slide around and you spin around and then down the middle.
Yeah, I kept on getting stuck and had to inch my way across on that thing.
Yeah. That's the fun part, because you can sit there on the bridge or whatever and look down into that and watch everybody. It's usually like the light little kids that can whip around and go straight down. It's usually like the larger humans that can't get down.
At one point I stopped, like my foot was hooked. I was able to hook my foot around the part to continue sliding down. Like, hey, come on, I'm right here. Come on. Trying to calculate, keep getting water splashing my eyes.
Yeah, and some of the pools are fresh water, right, and some are salt water.
Some fresh, some are salt. Yep. There's multiple pools. There's just like a regular pool. There's the sports activity pool. Lots of hot tubs and jacuzzis wrapped around the ship. There's also the adult area, which doesn't have a proper pool. It's got kind of like either larger hot tubs or like hot tub type of thing situations. That's in the solarium, the adult section, which faces out over the bow, which is nice. That's where we watched the debarkation day when we were leaving. We were in there. So you mentioned the flow rider, which is the surf simulator. There's also the ice rink, which
laser tag.
There's an ice show there. They'll also host some of their activity game shows type of stuff going on there. They have the laser tag, which is an inflatable obstacle course. You got the backpacks that you put on, the vests that have the sensors on it, and the gun. You go around zapping. That was I really enjoyed that.
That was fun. Like you had told me, try to get on that, and I couldn't find anything on the app or whatever to make reservations going in, or when I got on, I don't know. I just couldn't find it, but I stumbled on that by accident because I was just walking through the casino, and then I looked to my right and I seen all the signs for the laser tag. I'm like, ooh, what's this about? And I talked to the guy. He's like, do you want to go in now? I could probably put you on the standby. We can get you in there. And I had to text my wife real quick. Send Caitlin down here. I need her ASAP. So she comes shooting down. I was like, please don't have your Crocs on because you got to have shoes. They don't want anything, you need sneakers or something on. They don't want open-toe shoes or something like that that's going to fall off. So she comes through the casino, and my eyes are dead at my daughter's feet, and I see her sneakers. I'm like, yes, let's go.
Did she like it?
Yeah, she had a great time with that. That was fun. It was because it's definitely laser tag has come a long way from when I was a kid to now. It was cool. If you got zapped, you're gone with the activate for like 5 seconds, and then you're back in it. And, so it was fun. It was just a matter of don't shoot your teammate. It's like, oh, same color, go to the next one.
I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we got to do that. Mm-hmm. There's the music hall. There's the main theater, which has a number of production shows in it. There's the comedy. There's a giant outdoor movie screen, which I never got around to watching any movies on it, but there was always running almost like TikTok video clips of different things.
Yeah.
Let's see, rock climbing, world theory, solarium, sports court, karaoke bar, which they had a number of activities in there as well. There's the spa, of course.
We did like a Lego. There was like a Lego trivia in there in the Spotlight Karaoke where like the picture would show like Legos in certain arrangements, and you had to guess either the movie or like the TV show that was based on.
So interesting.
That was kind of, I don't know if they offered that.
No, I didn't do that one.
But for us, it was cool. It was challenging because you're looking at these Legos and you're like, huh? I don't know.
We did a couple of the trivia nights. We did the Harry Potter one. We did some other one. And we did the Disney one. Strangely enough, I came in first on the Disney one. I don't know how that seems.
I don't know. Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed your hat.
Yes, I did. Oh, is that how you got that hat?
Yeah.
All right.
Because since there was 5 of us, we won that. I had actually won a hat for other game shows that I got involved. It was like Finish the Line or something. So they would give you a line, and then you'd have to fill in the blank with kind of whatever absurd thing you want in the most popular answer.
Yeah.
You get points and you move on. So it took me a moment to get in that because I almost got myself eliminated right at the get-go. Mm-hmm. But ended up winning that one too. So
nice.
You know what? I can be creative from time to time. Because, I only use that to walk through. There's the main dining room, which is 3 decks. They do offer traditional dining, so 5 o'clock or 7:15. And then they have their anytime dining or my time dining. I forget what they call it, which is integral time periods that you work out into your schedule. However, I always do the traditional. I enjoyed it. They've changed the menu since we last went on a Royal Caribbean last year. Mm-hmm. But all in all, I enjoyed the food. There was 1 or 2 times that there was some I didn't care for the food, and then they just, okay, well, here, we'll get you something. What else do you want? They got me something different.
Yeah, that happened to my wife. She got like I want to say a cod or something, and it had like a crust on it that she didn't like. So they gave her something else, and she gave me the fish. I tried it. I loved it. I'm like, oh, okay, more for me.
Yeah. I got the chicken marsala. I wasn't too crazy about it, but I also got there was a Caribbean chicken one night that I thought was absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. So, each night it's kind of themed a little different in the food offering, but then there's standards. You get like a New York strip every night, as an option every night. And something else you didn't do, one of the specialty restaurants on board, which is Tables at Wonderland. So here's your Disney. It's kind of, I want to say, loosely based off the Tim Burton live action Alice in Wonderlands. It has very much that feel to the restaurant and the design of it. The food it's normal food. Its presentation is very abstract. So you would get shrimp, but it was wrapped in noodles, but the noodles were freeze dried. So it looked almost like, the closest thing I could say, it looked like hay. But it's like straw, like dried straw, but it was pasta noodles, but it was freeze dried. So it had like a crisp to it.
Okay.
But it just it makes it look different. I got a salad with a deconstructed tomato. So they broke the tomato down and then formed it back into a ball. It looked bizarre, but you taste it like I'm eating a tomato. It's just not crispy like a tomato. It's like all the elements are still there. So very different way of preparing and serving the food, but the food was fantastic.
Yeah.
Next time you guys come over, I'm gonna have to show you the pictures of it. Well, I post or Kim
We've
posted
seen some of them,
yeah.
But the entrance to that was on our deck, so like
yes,
and that was like the photo op for everybody. Like every time you see people coming by there, they're stopping to take the pictures over the the entranceway because it was like that flowery arc or whatever. It was
right.
cool.
The arc out into a tunnel, and there was a random door for you to walk through to enter into Wonderland.
Yeah.
But there's the Central Park region of this ship, which is a actual park. I mean, you got living plants and trees and everything that you sit down. There's the guitar player that's playing at night. It's just a very relaxing, serene section of the ship. There's the boardwalk section of the back of the ship that also leads to the Aqua Theater. That it's like a boardwalk. You have Johnny Rockets there. You have a sports bar. You have a hot dog stand. There's the carousel. There's the kids climbing zone area. There's a lot going on there. Face painting every so often going on in there. While we were on the ship, the U.S. women's team was playing a soccer game, and our room was a balcony right above the Playmakers, which is the sports bar. And when the U.S. scored a goal, man, that ship came to life. The amount of cheering and yelling.
Yeah.
I mean, but the energy from it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's if there's this big sporting event going on, I mean, you're not missing it because you're on a cruise ship. If you want to be part of it, you can absolutely be part of it. If you don't want to be part of it, you can absolutely not be part of it.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I think the one beauty about cruising is you kind of have to take yourself out of your own little box, and because you're on vacation. You're not going to see these people more than likely ever again in your life. So just go there, have a great time. You know what I mean? Just do things that you probably normally wouldn't do if you were home, because who cares? Like me, obviously I had a few adult beverages, but I'd get into I would embarrass my wife and kid because we'd get into the elevators, and you know how people can see you as you're going up and down the elevator? I'd be in there like dancing and stuff like that, seeing people smiling and laughing at me. My daughter and my wife are like, will you stop that? They're like, why? We're on vacation. Who cares? Come on.
Yeah, while we were on it, there was, I'm not even going to guess how many quinceañeras going on. So there was one night, it was a formal night, that down the elevator, we had just finished dinner. And they're outside the photo banks, because this was on deck 3 of the ship. We were kind of waiting to take some pictures because my parents came along. So just, nice family pictures. Right. And they got the photo package too. So they want as many pictures as possible. And the internal elevators right outside the dining room are glass. So you can see who's on the elevator, like you said, and look onto things. And coming down it was 3 or 4 young ladies, teenage girls, in ball gowns. And by ball gowns, I mean picture Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Thank you, Dave, for joining us and talking about your trip, my trip. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2 next week as we continue our discussion on doing Florida, doing cruises out Port Canaveral, the wonder of the seas, the ship, and some of the Disney stuff that we did. Make sure follow conversations on our social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, X, you name it. We're pretty much out there at WD MagicCast, including YouTube and TikTok. Leave a voice message. Be part of the show. You can do this on the Spotify website or Spotify podcast website and be heard, be part of the show, join in the conversation. I want to thank you guys for your time. I know how little time we all have these days, and the fact that we get to spend time together truly means a lot to us over here at WD MagicCast. We can't thank you enough, but please really you can help us out by sharing out a link, let people know about the show. What really also is going to help is leaving a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, We have all 5-star reviews at the moment. Keep them coming. We need more, and the more we get, the more they will do to help promote the show to like Disney people yourself. Disney people who like Disney yourself. Walt believed in a big Disney family, so do I. Don't forget to subscribe to the show while you're at it. This way you always know when new episodes are posted. And while you're at it, consider becoming a premium subscriber. Truly help this show out. You can do this over at, and don't worry folks, links in the show notes, podcasters.spotify.com/pod/show/WDMagicCast/support. Wow. Links to all these are in the show notes. Don't forget to also go over to our really awesome TeePublic store. Get some wearable outfits for yourself. It's fall's starting to set in. It's going to be here before you know it, even though it's still 100 degrees outside. Get yourself a nice hoodie for the fall, or t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt. Got a bunch of cool things out there with the logo on it. Go get yourself some of that and support your favorite show while you're at it. Whatever you're facing out there, whatever troubles you may be dealing with, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give in. You are special. You are worth it. You are an individual that this world needs. May not always feel like that, but there are people out there that count on you, and you make their lives better. Never give up, never give in. Be your own hero and let the world see the light shine that is you. Now I'd like to end this week's show with a quote from Walt Disney himself. Ideas come from curiosity. When I settle on one idea, my confidence takes command. Nothing can shake it, and I am constant to it until it comes a reality. Then I drop it abruptly, and I rarely mention it again. Again, that's Walt Disney. Thank you again for listening, everyone, and I'll see you next time.